Welcome to the deep dive. So you shared this really interesting lesson with us. It's from the English Made Easy podcast,
That's right.
all about, how to stop translating in your head and actually think in English.
Yeah, a really common challenge for learners.
Exactly. And that's what we're digging into today. Our mission really is to pull out the actionable stuff from that episode.
Mm-hmm. The practical takeaways.
Yeah, the things you can start doing
Right.
like right away to make that switch in your brain and, well, speed up your English learning.
And it's important, isn't it? Because that translation habit, it feels natural at first, almost unavoidable.
Right.
But the English Made Easy folks really highlight how it can actually hold you back. It hinders fluency, makes things less natural.
So we need to get why it's a problem first before jumping into fixes.
Precisely. Let's unpack that.
Okay. So the podcast jumps right in, pointing out that translation just slows everything down.
It really does.
They had that great simple example. Someone asks, "What's your name?" And if your brain's doing that whole back and forth, English question to your language, answering your language, then back to English.
Well, the moment's gone, hasn't it?
Totally. Get this awkward delay, makes the conversation feel, I don't know, clunky.
And it's not just speed, is it? It's also about accuracy, or maybe naturalness is a better word.
Ah, yeah, they talked about that too.
Remember the example, saying, I am full of happiness.
Oh, yeah. Instead of just, "I'm so happy."
Exactly. The first one, well, you might understand the meaning, technically.
But it sounds odd, a bit strange to a native speaker.
Right. It just lacks that natural flow. Some things just don't translate directly, word for word.
Yeah, idioms, common phrases. Trying to force it can sound weird or even funny sometimes, like they mentioned.
Definitely. Okay, so we get it. Relying on translation. It's a hurdle.
So let's get to the good stuff. How do we actually start, rewiring things?
Right. And English Made Easy gives some really clear practical steps for this. Very grounded advice.
Not just theory.
No, actual things you can do. Start weaving into your day. And the first big one they stress is using English for simple everyday stuff.
Okay, step 1. Simple things. So they mean literally like narrating your actions.
Pretty much, yeah. Give yourself a running commentary.
So, "I am brushing my teeth," or "I'm eating breakfast," something like that.
Exactly that. You might feel a bit silly at first, whispering it or just thinking it.
Yeah, maybe a little. But what's the actual point? What's the power behind it?
Well, the key is you're creating that internal English voice without any external pressure.
Ah, okay. No one's listening or correcting.
Right. It's just about training your brain to link actions, objects, directly with English words and basic sentences. You're building a new mental path.
Bypassing the old translation route?
Precisely. Grammar perfection isn't the aim right now. It's about making that direct connection.
Got it. Like mental training wheels. Okay, so step 2, according to the source, is labeling everything around you. In English.
Yeah, this flows nicely from the first step, doesn't it?
Seems like it.
It's about building vocabulary in context. So you look around your room, your office, outside.
And you just mentally tag things. This is a table, that's my phone, it's raining outside.
Exactly. You're constantly linking the English word to the actual thing or situation right there in front of you.
Strengthening those direct brain connections again.
So eventually, you see the object, and hopefully the English word pops into your head first.
Instead of seeing, say, a libro and then thinking book, you just see it. Think book.
That's the goal. Doing that consistently, well, you can see how it would build up over time.
Makes sense. Okay, step 3 they mentioned is about immersion, specifically with content for learners.
Right. Actively watching or listening to English stuff made for English learners. And they mention their own podcast, naturally.
Good example.
It is. Because this kind of content usually has, clearer vocabulary, maybe a slightly slower pace. It focuses on practical language.
Looks more accessible.
Definitely. And making it a daily habit, even short bursts, is key. You're training your ear to the sounds, the rhythm, the intonation of English.
It's not just passive listening, then.
No, not at all. They suggest repeating sentences out loud, trying to copy the speaker's rhythm. That's really important.
Why specifically copying the rhythm?
Because it helps you internalize the natural flow of the language, that musicality. It's something you just can't get easily from pure translation.
Right. It's about getting a feel for it and intuition, not just knowing the rules.
Okay, so after these foundational steps, English Made Easy talks about practicing thinking in real life situations, mental rehearsal,
That's a great way to put it. Mental rehearsal, taking those basic skills, the narration, the labeling, and applying them to something more dynamic.
Like an actual conversation you might have.
Exactly. And they use that brilliant coffee shop example. So relatable.
Yeah, everyone gets coffee, right?
Pretty much. So you mentally run through it. Hi, I'd like a coffee, please.
Yes, with milk. No sugar. How much is it? Just practicing those common lines internally.
I like that. So by rehearsing it in your head, when you're actually in the coffee shop.
You're kind of pre-programmed. You've already run the lines.
Yeah.
It reduces that panic, that scramble to translate on the spot.
It builds a mental shortcut. Less effort in the moment.
Absolutely.
Right.
And they suggest expanding this, of course. Think about the supermarket or restaurant, the airport.
Other common places.
Yeah. The more you visualize these scenes and mentally practice your English responses, the more automatic it starts to feel.
Makes the real thing less scary. Probably builds confidence, too.
Significantly. It
Yeah.
lightens that cognitive load, that mental effort of translating everything live.
Okay, that's really practical. Like an athlete visualizing the game. Now, they also had some bonus tips, didn't they? Quick extras to help things along.
They did. Good ones, too. The first was about thinking in pictures, not words.
Right. This one felt a bit more abstract. How does that work?
Well, it sounds abstract, but it's really about breaking that link back to your native language word.
Hmm.
So you hear or read an English word. Let's use their example. Apple.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of immediately thinking of the word for apple in your language, try to just picture an actual apple, the red, round fruit.
Ah, I see. So you link the English word directly to the concept or the image.
Exactly. You cut out the middleman, your native language word. It's a direct connection. English word, real. Free. Foodie.
That's actually quite powerful when you think about it that way. Okay, bonus tip 2 was about keeping a mini diary.
Yeah, a really simple one. In English.
Like just 1 or 2 sentences a day.
That's the idea. Something super basic like their examples. I woke up late today, or I had pizza for lunch.
Hey, straightforward.
The point isn't fancy writing. It's about the habit. Regularly forming simple English sentences about your own day.
Getting your brain comfortable, just constructing thoughts in English, low pressure.
Exactly. Low stakes, consistent practice in actually producing the language, even just for yourself.
Okay. And the final bonus tip is maybe the most important one for anyone trying this.
I'd say so. Be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself.
Because it's not going to happen overnight.
Absolutely not. Learning a language, shifting how you think in it, that's a long game, a marathon.
You're going to slip back into translating sometimes.
Inevitably. There will be frustrating moments. The key is just to notice it, not beat yourself up about it, and keep going.
Don't get discouraged.
Right. Consistent effort plus patience. That's the formula for developing this new way of thinking.
Okay, so wrapping this up, this deep dive into English Made Easy has given us some really solid, usable strategies.
Definitely.
We looked at why translating as a problem slows you down, sounds unnatural, and then these steps. Narrating your day, labeling things, using learner content, mentally rehearsing.
And the bonus tips. Think in pictures, the mini diary, and that crucial patience piece.
Yeah. It seems the big message from the source is really about consistent, active engagement, right?
That's the core of it. Listening, talking to yourself, consciously trying not to translate. It's all about rewiring the brain bit by bit.
Making English feel like the default setting for your thoughts, not something you have to switch into.
Exactly. Not a secondary layer you're constantly filtering through.
Right. And maybe, just as a final thought to leave everyone with, consider this. What if practicing these techniques doesn't just make you more fluent in English?
Go on.
What if engaging deeply with a new linguistic framework, like thinking directly in English, actually gives you a slightly different way to see your own thoughts, or even the world?
That's a fascinating angle. Language shaping perspective.
Yeah. It's more than just words and rules, isn't it? It could be about unlocking a whole new way of processing things, something to mull over. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.